just want to take a minute and answer a question that came in, and that question is, what are some practical ways to study the Bible on my own? Well, first of all, you really need a Bible, and you need a good Bible. So there's two different types of translations. One is thought for thought, and one is word for word. Now, I would suggest word for word over thought for thought, but I would also suggest that you have both together. So a word for word would be something like a King James Version or an ESV or a NASB translation. You can also get an NIV, which is a thought for thought. You could also use an amplified, which also gathers the whole information from the idea of mixing the two. And so actually in my personal study, I have what's called a parallel Bible, where I have all of these different Bible translations side by side. So then I know what the people in the congregation are reading, and I also know that there are different ways of translating it from the original language to the English language that we have now. And if you can recognize both, that's a great place to start. And that was just point number one. Point number two, read carefully. So many people do not read carefully. They skip over words. And I'm the greatest one to blame at this too. Sometimes I'm just reading too fast, my mind's somewhere else, and I don't read slow enough. When you read too quickly, you miss important words and you miss the connections. I would also say that you don't read very much. Just read a little bit at a time. If you sit down and you try and read like 2 or 3 passages of scripture, chapters, and maybe even a whole book at once, you're going to miss all kinds of stuff. So break it down into short little bite sizes and then just look at it and think about what it actually says. And if you want to go even further and study the Bible, there's a little trick that I love to use. Circle the verbs, underline the nouns. For those of you that aren't so great at English, a verb is an action. A noun is a person, place, or thing. And if you just ask the question, who is doing the acting and what is the acting upon, it will actually help you understand that verse or that passage of scripture. And of course, I could go on and on and on about different ways that you can learn to read the Bible. But if you just stop, do those 3 things, have a great Bible, understand how that Bible communicates the original language, read slowly, and then just circle and underline nouns. That'll start you off in a great way of understanding the Bible.